right, so for the past like month or so, I haven't been uploading because I've been busy with the shop, obviously. And now I'm telling myself, we have all this content and we're not posting anything. So now we're gonna start posting every single day, right?
Yes, sir.
Recording space. This is our newer hire.
I'm the camera.
So this car came in local. Where'd it come from? This guy is from Belleville. Why are you showing his information? So he's from Belleville. He did a scat swap. The scat was his. So he used to have the donor. He wrecked it, took everything out and put it in a 300. So now he's having a no crank, no start issue. This is what I found. So when you're pressing the brake, this is the ABS module. This wasn't connected all the way. It was like that. So when you're pressing the brake, the car wasn't recognizing the brake pedal and it wasn't turning over. So now we still got to fix this lock, but now I have communication with the ABS module. But look what happens. Look what they did. They tried to jump the relay for the starter, which is this thing over here. What they were trying to do is manually turn this car over, which we're gonna do. I'm gonna show you how to do that. So let's put the drum box on it. Where's the drum box? The red one. So this battery is pretty smoked. Oh, the converter's over here. Well, we're looking for the converter yesterday. So I'm gonna put the jump box on it and then I'm gonna show you what it does when you try to turn it over because it's not acting right. So let's get the jump box. All right, so this should have enough juice, I think. Yeah, it's in the green. So we're gonna put the jump box on it and then I wanna show you what it does when you try to turn it over. Oh, scanner. So this is the Autel IM608. This is a badass tool. I paid like $3,000 for this, but if you're in this field, then you definitely need a good scanner to do this kind of work. So we got some good voltage. Now I want to show you what the starter does, because I'm thinking that has the best starter. So as you can see, they tried to jump it with the relay. We're gonna do the same thing. So here's a starter relay. The way you tell is from R27 and right there, starter, R27. So I'm gonna pop this off. I'm gonna put one of these on, even though I have a better one. See what it does? It's not turning over. So what I wanna do is put it on the lift, which it already is, and then we're gonna test the starter. So let's do that. We forgot the test light. This is a pretty cheap one, but it does the job. I paid like 60 bucks for this. So we got power, ground. I like this one because it's digital. So it tells you all your voltages. We got some pretty good battery, 12 volts. Now we're gonna test our starter. I'm gonna put the relay back on for now. And then we're gonna manually engage it from the bottom to see what's wrong with the starter. Always set your lift on the locks. So here's the starter. It's right underneath this heat shield. That's ground. But this is the output for the starter. You know what? Grab that piece of paper right there. So here's the starter. That's the output that I just unplugged. Here is the power coming from the fuse box, which is right over there. That is the battery. So that's the battery post, goes straight to the fuse box. There's a relay and a fuse. We should have probably checked those. But I'm gonna power it from here. So I'm gonna give this power and then see if it turns over. So now let's pretend that this wire was shorted and that's the reason it's not turning over. Even though it is, you could go on here and then give it power. So still doing the same thing. So anybody, by doing that, would probably replace the starter, thinking that's a bad starter, but I don't think it's a bad starter because he said the car was running when he stripped it. So what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna take off the heat shield, I'm gonna take off the starter, and then I'm gonna manually test the starter on the bench with the jump box, and I'll show you guys how to do that. And if it still does the same thing, then we know it's a bad starter and we'll replace it. But damn, look at this. Look at the trans mount.
Is this supposed to be touching?
Oh, this is all-wheel drive. Look at this. So we got to redo the trans mount too, but that's for a different day. So yeah, we're gonna do that. I'm gonna take off the heat shield. There's two 13 mils, pop that off, and then we'll test the starter and then go from there. I don't think it's a starter.
See if I could drop it off and how long it's gonna take.
So you got the battery light,
Battery light, 3 codes.
then you got a traction light.
3 codes, and it keeps cutting off. When I turn it on, it's like.
Do it right now.
But now it don't.
No, it doesn't do it?
Yeah, when you turn it on, it's like shut off, then I turn it off, back on, and it comes back normal. I just don't know what's the issue.
Call us, keep it here.
And I want you, I have other things that I want to fix too.
Okay.
Now. These lights. Yeah, I changed this one.
Okay.
Don't work.
Oh, just leave it here.
Reverse light don't work. Camera light don't work. I told you before that I'm coming back to you. Now I'm coming back.
Bro, I don't remember the car.
You're the one who fixed it, guy. You're the one who brought
It's
it back
blue?
to life.
It's blue?
It's the army blue.
I blue. Guys, so write them up real quick, and then just park it right over here.
What do you want me to drop it off? I can drop it off today if you want.
Yeah, you keep it here right now.
Take it.
The 15, I think. All right. Oh, it's a 13. It's a 13 nut, but a 15 on the bottom. Oh wait, is the jump box aligned?
Yeah.
We gotta disconnect it. Okay. The hell was that? Brake fluid? What was that? Where's the handheld? The spawner, give me that. Yo! Yeah! All right, so now we're gonna pull it out from here. That's where it'll come out from. Thank God the catalytic converter's not on, because that would have been harder to do. What the hell keeps dripping? Oh, it's brake fluid. A-mill. We gotta take off the heat shield. Well, actually this one, you just gotta loosen it. You gotta take it all the way out. Now it's gonna come off like this. Like that. Heat shield. Then you got the 13. This is the reason why I disconnect the battery, because once you take this post off, this is power. So we're gonna take that off and then put it to the side. Should be a 13 mil. And a reminder. This is 15. There, bro. Get all the motions, yeah, beast. All the motions. There we go. All right. All right, so here's the starter. How we're gonna test it, we're gonna test it on the bench. And the way you test these starters is pretty easy. You have your ground, right? You can turn this on. Ground goes to ground. And then power will go to power, right? Now what we wanna do is we wanna jump this to here, because this is what actuates the starter. And you could do that either with a test light, or you could get a piece of wire. Make sure it's pretty thick gauge. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna touch these together, and then you're gonna watch this engage, right? So watch this, bismillah. So see, start. Why did you skip it? So as you can see, the starter works. Starter works. Another way you could do it is with the test light, which is my favorite way. So you plug this in, and then power goes to power, like that, and then ground goes to ground. And then we'll give it power from here, like this. Just make sure you hold the starter. Don't put your fingers over here. So starter's fine. There's something else going on. So we just verified that. I think any other shop would have just put a new starter in it and thinking that that was gonna be the issue, but it's not the issue. So we're gonna put the starter back. All right, so starter goes back in. It's easier to install the battery post first, which is 13. Let me do that the right way. So here's the nut for this battery post. This goes in first, like that. All right, so we know what starter is good. Now let's move on to the rest of the parts.
So for anybody that doesn't know, where does the starter connect to?
Transmission. Okay. Between the trans and the engine, which is right here. All right, now we're gonna put on steering shaft. Okay, and then you got the part that just slides on there. So.
Can you zoom in with this thing? With my finger?
No, you gotta zoom in. Yo. So now we'll put back the heat shield, same way it came out, goes back in, like that. And then over here, there's a slide, I don't know if you can see this, but it just slides in here. Oh, right there. So we'll do the 8 first. Can you see that? Could you or no?
Yeah.
Hold on. All right. So we
Fluid leak in the rear.
It's very fluid. I think one of the lines are loose. But now we just verified the starter is okay. So next we're gonna check. I want to check that fuse box to see if there's power coming out of the fuse box, and then see what we can find.
So what's the customer's goal with the start?
To get it started, I think. Isn't that what he told us? So once we get it started, we call him, see if he wants to move forward. So, this is our starter. We just checked the output. The output is working, right? Comes from the starter relay. It connects to the headlight to dash harness, which is underneath the cowl. We're not worrying about that. But we didn't check this. So on the starter, the actual battery connector, we didn't see if it's coming from the fuse box, it was gonna power. So we're gonna put our test light back on there and then check to see if we're gonna power to this main feed. It's good?
Yes.
So, just to double check, right? R27, right there, that is the starter relay, which is this thing over here. This thing is fine. I already tested that. And then you have F4. If you look over here, F4. Why shut it off?
Guys, it's so freaking...
F4, the 30 amp, which is this. This one's good too. Usually if it's broken, you'll see that it's disconnected right inside. So that's good too. So now we got 12 volts here. It's a freaking wire, man. Now we're gonna lift it up and check the post on the starter to see if it's gonna power. The issue. That is supposed to be getting power. That is supposed to look like this. So why is it getting ground? And all the fuses are good. So this one over here, this post is this. So this goes directly from the fuse box to here. So we're gonna bring it back down and check this. This is wrong. This is supposed to give power. This is supposed to be getting 12 volts. See, this is why I kind of miss the days where we're working in the garage, because you don't gotta keep dropping the car a million times. This is our fuse box. This is the relay. This is the fuse. This over here is here. So why is it getting ground? Wait, on the 6.4s and Hellcats, it's supposed to be, here's one. This one goes to the harness right here. Where's the other one? There's supposed to be two.
What are you pointing at?
This harness right here, there's supposed to be two that come here.
And connect where?
To the fuse box.
Okay.
There's something wrong. Where's the one that goes from the engine? That's insane. This is supposed to have power from the fuse box. They have it as a ground. That's crazy. So
Like that?
no, that's supposed to be, where's my 10? Right here. That's supposed to be power.
Connected to the wrong connector?
They have it as ground. They thought it was a ground strap.
Also, everything connected to here is ground.
Right. So this is ground, this is right. So that's ground. This is power. How'd you get that down there? This over here, that's our issue.
Because that one is going to the engine.
This is the engine. So this, damn, that's bad. So this goes like that. So we're gonna take this 13 off.
getting out the crank?
So this feeds the starter. That's supposed to have power. So this over here goes like this. That goes on top of it. Okay. So now if we did it right, if I put this jumper relay on there and press it, it should turn over. Ready?
Go ahead.
That was your problem, boys. Battery's weak, but we're gonna put the relay back on, put a good jump on there, and then see if it starts. But yep, that is not a ground. Because if you're watching this, this is a power. There's supposed to be two of them. This one here goes with the rest of the harness. This here comes from the engine. So what I'm thinking is when they stripped the donor, they thought that this was a ground. All right, so if we did everything right, it should start now. It shouldn't click, it should turn over. Come on, come on. That's how it's done, boys. So remember when we're under the car and it was leaking brake fluid? These lines were loose. So tying these up. Oh, even this is loose, look at her. All right, so we'll tighten both of these. There's a 13 on this side and then a 13 at the bottom. And then we'll start bleeding the brakes. But it keeps me busy, so. All right, so that failed because this line over here is cross-threaded. So when they installed it, you can even see it, how it's sitting sideways. I tried to fix it, but it keeps going the other way. So we're gonna have to replace the ABS pump, possibly replace these lines. These come as a bundle all the way from the pump to the reservoir. So in the meantime, we can't do nothing about it. We're gonna put the wheels back on, take this one out of here, and then bring the next one in. All right, guys, so this one is coming off the hoist. We have another white SRT that's coming on, and then we gotta test it for a misfire. So we're gonna have to order a new pump. We already called the customer, new ABS lines, because this one's cross-threaded, and you can't replace just the individual line. These are sold as a bundle. So we got the approval to do that. We're gonna order the parts, and then once they come in, we'll replace them. But in the meantime, this one gotta come off, and on to the next one. All right, guys, so this is like free game over here. If you have one of these swaps, and you have to order, let me turn this light off, and you have to order an ABS pump, it's important to know if you have adaptive cruise or not. So like, if you're looking at the steering wheel, he doesn't have it because he's using the 300 steering wheel. They're supposed to be over here. But another way to check is you go to settings, you go to safety and driving assistance, and then if you have it, if you have the adaptive cruise, it will be an option over here. So in this case, he doesn't have it, so we're gonna order an ABS pump without adaptive cruise. If you were to put one in here that has adaptive cruise, it's not gonna program, and then you just lost all your money on that pump. So it's important to know that. So let's pull this one out and move on. Give it some gas. All right. All the way.
Where?
On the hoist. I'm gonna do that again. It's like a real hesitant. And then when you scan it, These are the codes that you're getting. Battery temp sensor, which isn't a big deal. Serial communication link, and this crankshaft position sensor. This is our issue over here. Customer states that he already replaced the sensor, so we're gonna go in there and test wiring. This sensor should be on the passenger side of the engine block. So we got to set up on the hoist, we're gonna lift it. Should be 3 wires, and then we'll test it to the PCM, see if we got any shortage. And then he also has an issue with his radio. He said on the way here this happened, so it could probably be just something loose. Let's test it real quick. That's weird. We'll leave this for last. Looks like you replaced this at one point. All these screws are loose. They're missing. All right, so let's set it up on the hoist. Put this back for now. And then we'll check out the crankshaft position sensor, because it's also throwing a check engine light, as you can see, right over there. And yeah, and it feels like it has no power. So as you're driving it, it feels like it's really heavy. So let's get out of here and set it up. Side of the engine? Why are those wires like twisted up like that? Uncle Love. So, how on earth are we supposed to reach that? That boy's hot too. Didn't he say he changed it?
Probably.
There's no way he did. I want to test the wiring. Let's bring it down, we'll test the wiring. There should be 3 wires. And
how are you supposed to reach it?
We'll unplug it. I think I took the wheel off. Reach it from here. We'll figure it out. Let's bring it down a bit. He said he replaced it. I don't think he did though.
Why? It's too far in?
It doesn't look like it's been off before. It's getting power and ground. So this one should be power. It's gonna power and ground. Let me see something real quick. So this is the actual radio.
What was the fixer?
Secret.
You guys say what it is?
So on these newer Jeeps, anything with the gateway module, right? If you unplug the gateway, it disconnects the screen for some reason. The gateway on this one is located on the passenger side underneath the dash. So all I did was plug it back in.
Nice.
The wink is crazy. So now we're gonna put this back together. Find the screws for it. Does it have screws in here? No screws?
Yeah, screws are.
All right. Is that even for it? Probably not. We'll come back to it. Let's put this temporary. All right, guys, so the radio is good to go. As you can see, all the touchscreen works. So sometimes this whole thing glitches out. So what we gotta do is go into the radio and then we just reset it. So go to reset ECU and then you press OK. And then as you can see, it's resetting and that will fix the whole. And there you go. Everything works. The nav, radio.
Check the air suspension.
And we also disabled the air suspension. So you put in tire jack mode. Then as you can see right there, this is air suspension disabled. And then now you're able to lift it. So this one's good to go. I already bolted down the radio module. And now we're gonna clip this back in. That's it.
You to wait. Let me tell you a story in my situation. I was
Good. All right, so you see this pigtail over here with the 3 wires? That is the crankshaft position sensor. It's right close to the catalytic converter, so I almost burned myself. But now we're gonna test it from here, going to the C2 connector on the PCM to see if we have any shortage, because he said that he replaced the sensor already, which is right here. Can you see that? Right there, where my finger's pointing. That's the crankshaft position sensor. So let's test the wiring. We're gonna have to go up and down a couple times because I gotta put the wires up front and then lift it and then test it from here. So we'll see if we got any broken wires and see what we can find. So here's my multimeter. I got on the continuity setting. If we have good contact, it's gonna beep like that. And obviously if it's a broken wire, it's not gonna make any sound. So I'm a pin 1. We'll start with the 5 volt. Where's the light? We'll start with the 5 volt, which is the first one right here, the pink and yellow. We'll pin it and then go to the connector on the C2 and then see if there's an open or if we're getting good contact. That's it. Now we're gonna bring it down and test it on the PCM. All right. So now we got the other lead, which is this one over here. And we're gonna tap it into the C2 connector, which is this one. All right. What number do we say?
67.
$96. We want pin number 67 on here. So 67, 24. That's 73. 73. Give me the pin. This is 70. This is 96. Pin number 96. This is pin number 73, 72, 71, 70, 69, 68, 67, 60.
You need a 67.
73, 72, 71, 70, 69, 68. That one's good. Man, oh man. All right, so we checked everything. We checked the wiring, we checked the sensor, we checked the PCM. The only thing left to do is check the tone ring on the crank to see if that's damaged, because nothing else is making sense. All right, so long story short, we checked everything. We checked the 5 volt reference, the ground, and the signal. Everything is coming out of the C2, going in the crankshaft sensor. But it's still doing the same thing. So what I tried.
What's up, my boys?
All right, so this is tomorrow's project. It's already like 5 o'clock, so we're starting to wrap up here, pull all the tools away. We got to take off the driver's side cylinder head because number 3 has like no compression. It's misfiring pretty bad. I already did a compression test on this yesterday, so we're gonna start taking off the head. The customer already approved that. And see what's going on there. I think it's a seized up lifter. I could be wrong, but it's pretty common on these 6.4s. But the goal is we're gonna post every day, hopefully. 5 days a week, because we're here for 5 days. post every single day. I want to edit and post it before I go home. That way, give you guys some footage every single day. Is that the plan?
Yes, sir.
So that's gonna be it for today. We'll see you guys on part 2 tomorrow. We'll do this like episodes like every single day, and then we'll see how this goes. Let me know if you guys want to see something different. Comment down below. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and we'll see you guys back tomorrow.